Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the podcast at its own form of March Madness. It's Guys of a Certain Age. Easy for me to say. Robbie Copeland's in studio alongside
Art Shirley, the mad Art Shirley.
Wow, have you got your bracket set?
I do have my bracket set. I think it's probably busted already.
Who you got winning it all?
I have Auburn winning it all.
I've got Florida. I did 4 brackets. I got Florida out of 2, Auburn 1, and
Duke for the other one?
Yeah.
Mine was between, and either one of those 3 I thought could, I just, for some reason, I kind of felt like this might be Auburn's year.
I hope not.
It's hard for me to pick Auburn.
Yeah.
But, it may be a complete surprise. You know, last year brackets were busted early on.
That's what,
just right off the bat, it seemed like everything was wrong.
This is my favorite time of year.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah. So we'll do.
It is more fun, even if you don't know enough about basketball to make educated guesses. You're just kind of making guesses. But it's more fun when you've got a bracket and you're a little more invested in it. We've got one at work, so we'll see how they. And it's typically, and it has been here when I was working here and we did those there. It always seems to be the person that knows the least about basketball that wins it all.
That is. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Yeah. It's also when you've got a team in it. You know, Ole Miss is in it and State's in it.
Yeah, that's right. And we play. Ole Miss plays North Carolina tomorrow as we record Friday. Oof. And North Carolina's not the North Carolina they've been of old, but they're still North Carolina.
Boy, they whooped whoever they beat
Creighton.
by 20.
No. They didn't play Creighton. They played. I can't.
They won by 20-something.
Yeah,
and you know that's going to be a hard game.
Yeah.
State's got a hard game against Baylor, even though Baylor's the 9 seed, State's the 8. It doesn't matter.
You know, Homer and me both for Ole Miss and State. I had them at least winning 1. I can't remember if I had them going much past that.
Yeah.
So my bracket may be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, right off the bat, but. Anyway, it's exciting. Like you said, it's exciting to have teams in. And I'm watching the women, too. The women, you know, Ole Miss has got their women are in it. I think the State's women are in it, too, right? And so that's always fun, too. And that's getting to be such a much more competitive league now.
And so this is the first year that the women, the teams in the women's tournament are awarded for being in the tournament.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you get what's called a unit. For each game you're in, you get a unit. I think it's worth roughly $113,000 for the women. I don't know what it is for the men per game, and that's for travel expenses. So they can actually fly charter, and they can stay in a nice hotel.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And the women, unfortunately, have had to substandard. There has not been equity across the men's and women's tournament.
Right.
Now the money's not the same.
The money's not the same. So that's it. But it is getting better. And I think that, State's team from, Vic Schaefer's team.
17-18, man.
It's been that long ago.
It has.
That was one of the ones, at least locally, that really got people fired up about.
Boy, that 18 team.
Dawn Staley, is an incredible coach over at South Carolina.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name at UConn, the guy we all love to hate.
Gino Ariamo.
Yes. Yeah.
Domo Arigato, Mr. Armorado or Armiado.
So there's excitement in there too, and so it'll be fun. Like I said, it's a good time of year.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into some Geeks of the Week.
You want me to go first?
Why don't you go first?
Oh, Jay's not here, by the way. Have you mentioned Jay's not here? Yeah.
Jay Reed.
It's hard to tell based on the level of conversation.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Ouch. Jay and I are doing a podcast tomorrow.
Sorry, Mrs. Reed. Sorry, Mr. Reed.
Sorry, Mr.
Dr.
J.
Reed. Everybody.
J-Bo.
Okay. Jay, are you here? All right. My Geek of the Week is about DC, and it's not the movie stuff. It's actually their comic book line, which they still do. And that line has been around for 90 years, which is hard to believe, or we're closing in on 90 years. I guess 38, a little before 38 when Superman came out. So we're getting close. But right now they are writing, and Mark Waid's behind it, they're writing a new history, and it's called The New History of DC, and a new history of the DC universe. And what they want to do is kind of realign all of the sprawling continuity that's going on. They've done this in the past. I think they did this around the time of like the mid-'80s, 84, around the time of the Crisis of Infinite Earth. They used that series to kind of bring together all the multiverses into one.
Kind of like Marvel did with
Secret Wars. Yeah, so that's what. Yeah, that was that happens to be something we may talk about later. Yeah. But in a companion piece to that was this history of the DC Universe, which came out in several different trade paperbacks, and had a like a profile of each of the characters, and kind of defined where they were, originally, and kind of where they were now in the new universe. So it's going to be interesting. This will be something I pick up. I'm still, my subscription to DC Universe comes up in April, and so it's weird. Usually you get those emails that this like. Hey, your subscription is coming up. Make sure you want to resubscribe. And this is almost like apologetic. Your subscription's coming up. If you want to cancel, you can go here. We'll understand. Or if you want to upgrade to Infinite, which I don't. But anyway. So Mark Waid's working on that. He describes it as a dream project for him. He's working with some other folks, Jerry Ordway. Do you know Jerry Ordway? Mm-mm. I don't know why I was thinking you did. Somebody in our Facebook group knows the artist Jerry Ordway. And Todd Nauck, Nauck, I'm probably butchering his name, are going to be working on the first issue. So it's a 4-issue. It's going to be a 4-issue limited series, and we'll see what it is. I was kind of hoping it might be, and I'm sure they'll gather it together as a trade paperback, and that's probably what I'll get.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Be interesting to see what they do.
Well, along those lines, going from the print universe to the DC universe, Jason Momoa, who's been cast as Lobo, he interview dropped this week where he said that the Lobo costume is very, very authentic. He's going to be in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. He's in it for a little bit, and he said the bike is kick butt.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. So Jason Momoa, who I think was going to make a much better Lobo. He was fine as Aquaman, but I think he was born to play Lobo.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's really the better character for him. Like I said, I thought he did a great job as Aquaman. I wasn't sure how he would do it first, but he kind of brought a Thor vibe to Aquaman. Just kind of not necessarily the same character, but still that kind of royalty. Yeah. But kind of a lot of humor in those. Even though they were serious, they never got to the love and thunder element of comedy. But I did like what he did. But I think Lobo is going to be where he really stands out, and he'll have a chance to kind of. Do you think they're going to go? I know they went with Supergirl, but do you think they'll use? We talked about this a bit. Will Lobo be their kind of Deadpool character, you think, the one that can really maybe push an R, or do you think that they'll do that with Suicide Squad more, continue to do that with Suicide Squad?
I don't think James Gunn's is going to have any problem finding something to go R.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
I mean, probably if they did a spin-off, if Lobo's got his own movie, I would say that would probably lean towards pretty hard R. So,
yeah.
I've got a couple different things that I found interesting for Geeks. So, number one, I just missed this. I saw the headline. The Disney Plus has announced a 24/7 Simpsons streaming channel.
What?
On the app. So, they're going to do, it's going to be one of their hubs. You can watch Simpsons 24/7. All 767 episodes as it stands now, available to watch in a 24/7 continuous stream on Disney Plus.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's Will has been watching. Notice that's when I come in. Are you ready for the next episode of The Simpsons? So he's been kind of working through.
So he's going to be able to jump in on The Simpsons and just go and go forever. So
continue to get a job. He's got a job. So we're good.
I'm working on it the fast as I can.
Okay. You're working on his office?
I'm working on his office. We moved stuff today. So a couple other things. So Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 has wrapped.
Oh, has it? Good.
Yeah. So filming is what I should say. Okay. So I'm pretty excited about it. And then so there was an interview with Jon Bernthal. I can never pronounce the last name. Who's playing The Punisher and Daredevil Born Again. Are you caught up on Daredevil?
I haven't watched the first episode of Daredevil, and I keep thinking the reason I keep thinking Will wants to watch it with me, but I probably just need to go ahead and watch it myself. I may. How many episodes are out? 4?
3, and then 2 will drop next week.
Okay, so maybe this weekend I could go ahead and do the 3.
It's great.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
So,
but what about the Punisher?
So there's going to be a spin-off movie special, Punisher special. So old John B is not only starring in it, he is helping to write it. He's so invested in the character. It kind of reminds me a lot of Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. That there was massive restructuring of Born Again, and they basically fired the creative team.
Yes, right. Yeah, I forgot
did rewrites and all that. He said he turned down joining them the first go around because he didn't like
he didn't like the direction it was going.
Yeah,
wow.
And so when they came back in. That's when he said, "Okay, I'm on board."
That's interesting. That's very cool. I always liked him. I mean, he was in Walking Dead. He's been in some other things too, some other properties we've watched. But this is cool. I'm glad. Yeah, it's nice to know that when they're that invested in it, really know what's going on.
Daredevil Born Again is quite good.
Okay,
so very, very similar.
But this will be a movie or special rather than a series.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That's probably a smart way to go.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, the other thing I saw that was interesting, DC, Guy Fieri is going to have a limited run DC comic book.
Really?
And so apparently,
is it a comic / cookbook?
Let's see what it is. I'm going to show you the cover. It's a World's Finest with Guy Fieri, Superman on munching a burger, Batman drinking some slushy.
Oh, there he is in his car. And diners and drive-ins in the background.
Yeah, you've got. I think maybe we've gone a little too far, but
that's pretty funny.
That's just me. The other thing I saw that was kind of interesting is Wizards of the Coast owns D&D. They have killed their virtual tabletop game. They had been developing, I think we talked about it before, a virtual D&D game, and they've spent years and lots of money, and they've killed it completely. So,
wow.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious where D&D is going. I think this is version 6 coming up. They're about to drop. So
at some point, we're going to have to do the D&D episode, and I've got so many people that say, whenever you do that, I want to be part of that. There's so many people that are. We may need to expand to a larger table. Actually, set up something that looks like a D&D game.
So what we should do is do it at Louvet or a big table and actually play D&D. What was that?
That's something that just came off your.
Oh man!
iPad.
Wow. So sorry about that. We gave free advertisement to somebody. So, but we should do that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You've played D&D?
I've played once.
Yeah.
But
it's been 20, 30 years since I played.
Yeah, it's probably been every bit of that long, if not twice that.
What?
But like I said, I know Will has played. My nephew Campbell is a dungeon master. Drew plays. So and then some of the other people we've had on as guests have said, "Oh, if y'all ever do a D&D thing, have me on." So I'll have to kind of go back and see. Maybe we'll make an open casting call for the D&D thing.
So what I thought would be fun is if we took that big 10-top table at Luba that's in front of the wine bar, in front of the wine cabinet, and we do a D&D game there.
Yeah.
And we have mead to drink.
Oh, cool.
And we keep the lights low. And the whole kit and caboodle, and you could cosplay as you wanted to.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
We need to, if we do that one, we need to do a video component.
Because Jay's going to cosplay.
Oh, yeah. Well, he does anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I would suggest going to a superhero movie with Jay Reed.
Yeah, the Shazam Bolt
that he made himself.
Yeah,
and he gave us each one.
Yeah, but there was another one too. He did, right?
He did something with Captain America, right?
Oh yeah,
when we went to go see.
Yeah.
So, you didn't go see Captain America,
the new
Brave,
one,
Strange, New Worlds,
right.
or whatever. First New Strange New Order
later. Yeah.
So, but it's a lot of fun. So.
One other thing on Geeks, though, that you mentioned, and it just kept me, is that no. You said it earlier. I thought you might mention it again today. Is that Max has gotten rid of all the Looney Tunes stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Tubi has picked a lot of it up and is going to do that. So, but and they're also starting to get rid of a lot of old DC stuff too, which they've done in the past. You can't find nearly the stuff you used to be able to find on there. So, one of those things where you start to wonder, is this investment worth it? Probably have to do another streaming services roundup at some point.
I tell you, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, so Honora just won everything in the Academy Awards, right?
Uh-huh.
So Honora is about a sex worker who falls in love with a Russian gangster prince sort of thing, and all the hijinks that ensue. Guess where you can watch Honora, right?
I saw it. You go ahead and tell them. I won't.
Disney Plus.
It is Disney Plus and not Hulu, right?
Well, it's Hulu. So I've got the Disney Plus.
See,
Hulu
I have the same package,
Yeah.
so I see it, and it comes up in the streaming. I mean, the little big screen promo package, right?
Yeah,
That you
yeah,
scroll through.
yeah.
So Honora is there, and then Moana 2 is like shortly after it. So it's like, okay, our kid's gonna go. Honora, that sounds kind of like Moana. Let me click on that.
She's a
and watch that.
princess.
Yeah.
So have you watched any of Honora?
I haven't seen a bit of it.
I've watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It looks to be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But it's pretty explicit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it won 6, 7 Academy Awards?
It was the big winner.
Yeah.
It was the big winner. I did see that was available now to watch. And I'm trying to think what else. We'll have to look at the Oscar list and see what else we need to watch from that.
All right. Cool beans. Speaking of big winners, we're going to take a break. We're going to talk about some folks who need a huge winner. Up next. And our March Madness, I can't even talk.
Magneto. March Magneto. That's
March
Madness.
Madness.
That's your segue.
Our March Madness episode. Whatever. So we're going to talk Secret Wars, Russo Brothers, the Avengers coming up. Something else that I came across yesterday. So there is an official Marvel TVA comic book, right?
Okay.
Time Variance Authority.
Yeah, I always think of Tennessee Valley Authority, which
when you're down here.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The Guy Fieri thing was bad.
Mr. Electric Bolt. So in the TVA comic book, which is canon to the MCU, the Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is alive.
Oh.
So it's going to be curious to see how that comes in as we move forward. But you talked about a little bit ago about the DCU or DC reset with Crisis on Infinite Earths. That is kind of what happened back in '85 with Secret Wars with Marvel, where they came in and they tried to streamline everything.
Yeah.
And, of course, I did a little bit of research on this. I'm sure you did. Mm-hmm. It was an idea that came up, and Jim Shooter, who was the head guy in charge at Marvel, was convinced he's the only one who could write and execute Secret Wars.
Oh, Jim Shooter.
Yeah, Jim Shooter. So, but the premise of Secret Wars is you had this being called the Beyonder, who gathered heroes from different sections of the Marvel multiverse, grab different pieces of the different Marvel universes.
So like you didn't get all of Fantastic Four. You got the three that he felt like were the ones that were really fantastic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sue Storm was left out, so that was not
I
good.
thought
is it what? I thought it was I thought she was left out. I thought it had Mr. Fantastic. It would make sense to me. You thought Mr. Fantastic was left out?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, and the Thing.
I thought that was, that would not fly today.
No, it wouldn't. And so you have the Beyonder having these gladiatorial games, essentially.
Right.
And you have the villains, and then you have the heroes, and you have alliances, and Galactus is pulled in. And it was a way for them to kind of clean up the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
A little bit like Crisis. Right?
Yeah, and it was around the time, too, that you were having like kind of a lot of event type of comic book stuff. So you would have an event that usually took about a year, maybe 18 months, involved several different titles. You might have a parent title, that you could buy. In this case, it would be Marvel Secret Wars. But at the same time, it's going to be Is also going to the story's going to continue in their regular titles. So Fantastic Four may have part of it. X-Men may have part of it. Spider-Man's going to have part of it. So it was a way to usually they bring you in with a few issues of the thing, and then say continue the story and so that you would be forced to pick up other comics.
So the original Secret Wars run was 12 issues.
Yeah.
And it was,
which is a year.
A year's worth, but it was across 11 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from May of 84 to April of 85.
Okay.
And then Crisis on Infinite Earths happened 85 to 86. So obviously Crisis had to be a DC reaction to Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And
again, a lot of the same kind of marketing tactics for both.
So
Crisis was 85, right?
Crisis was 85, 86. Secret Wars was 84, 85. Yeah. So the Russo brothers in a interview this last week or two have said, hey, we love the original. There was a revisit of Secret Wars in 2015. Kind of the same sort of thing where...
Is that the Deadpool one?
No.
Okay, I did read about that one too.
Yeah, but there was a 2015 Secret Wars that basically did the same thing that the 84, 85 Secret Wars and kind of clean up the Marvel Universe. And so it had its own title instead of pushing into individual lines of comics. And, in that, Dr. Doom steals the power of the Beyonders. So instead of this godlike character, the Beyonder from the first one, there was a race. Dr. Doom steals the power, brings everybody together into battle world, and hijinks ensue.
Yeah.
So the Russo brothers, who desperately need a hit.
Yeah, they just have not really. Ever since they left Marvel and did some stuff for Netflix, I think was is it Electric State Netflix as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so they had a contract to do so many movies for Netflix, it seems like. And none of them have hit as big as they should have. And all of them, if you look at the pitch, they probably were good ideas, but the execution just does not seem to be good. Electric State's not doing well at all. That's Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown vehicle that's just a bizarre kind of... I mean, it looks like the kind of thing we would probably like, and neither one of us have watched it.
It's got some Fallout feel.
It definitely has some Fallout feel, which was a huge hit. Have you watched that yet?
Yeah.
See, I need to watch that too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
That's
on Prime, right?
It's on Prime.
Yeah.
So this is some of the things that the Russo brothers have done since they left Marvel. All right. They were producers on Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, that was very big. That's a hit.
Yeah. But for Apple TV Plus, they did a crime drama called Cherry in 21 with Tom Holland.
And I don't think that did well.
The Gray Man with Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling, and
Now,
Ana
I did
de
like
Armas
that, but I don't think it did well.
On that one, Netflix.
Yeah, we really like that one.
Yeah, The Electric State with Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt.
Haven't watched it, but again,
it's got a 14% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Here's a review. It's lacking a spark and a soul that might distinguish it as memorable or special. Worse, considering everything it has going for it, The Electric State is kind of dull.
Yeah.
So,
and then they did two spy things. One of them had the guy from one of the guys from Game of Thrones, and I can't remember what it was called. I think those were Russo brothers things, and they look like, again, the pitch looked like it would be great. It's a couple that's a spy. There's a memory thing going on. Did they not do those?
I don't remember.
It's not showing up in the list. I guess maybe I've got them confused with somebody else. But
let me see if I can find Mosul.
No.
21 Bridges. Extraction?
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Well, that was a story and a screenplay. They didn't direct those. They directed Cherry and The Gray Man.
Okay. So I may owe them an apology. Maybe they didn't do that.
I'm sure they're going to demand an apology.
I'm sure they will too. They're faithful listeners, and we got to give them that.
Yeah. So you've got Secret Wars coming up. Dr. Doom is a very, very big part of Secret Wars, right? Fantastic Four is a very big part of Secret Wars. And so what you've got to think is Doom gets introduced in the Fantastic Four movie somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Played by Robert Downey Jr. He kills Kang somehow, Kang the Conqueror.
Although there has been talk about Jonathan Majors coming back, but we're going to say that's off the table. Not going to be. They're not. I don't think they're going to base their franchise around him again.
No, but who else was also?
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I think that there might be somebody playing a different version of Kang, and I cannot remember who it is. Extraction was good, by the way. I liked it. But so
Did you?
Yeah.
So apparently, Jonathan Majors wrote a letter to Kevin Feige saying, "I love you guys. Can I come back, please?"
But anyway,
yeah. They cast
Galactus is the big bad in Fantastic Four, but we know Doctor Doom is going to play some role, or we feel like he's going to play some role.
Yeah,
role. You got who
dude
Kang is?
Yeah, dude from Severance, Alan Trammell.
Oh yeah. Yes.
He would be great.
Yes.
Yeah, he would be.
Devour. Deep. I guess we could probably say that word, but we won't. Are you caught up with Severance?
Yeah. So I haven't watched
Milchek when he finally stood up to the guy I love that.
Tonight's the finale, right?
Is it tonight or tomorrow night? Does it come out Thursday?
Well, they drop on Thursday nights.
See, we can't watch it until Monday at the earliest.
Well,
I know. We may have to watch it without it.
Oh, no, we don't know what's about to happen here, but you want to watch.
Yeah. Don't look away now.
Yeah, sure. But
anyway, I'm sorry. We are way off the rails now.
Imagine that. Mm-hmm. So, I just my question to you is: we're speculating about Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Is this the hit that Marvel needs to get back on track?
Yeah.
To regain momentum, and is it the hit? Do the Russo brothers? Who's got more riding on Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday? These two.
I think it may be Marvel. Like I said, I looked back, and after you read the list, I realized Russo brothers, while they have not had the type of hit that they've had with the others, they've produced some decent stuff. Marvel, you could say the same thing, but they've not. I think their interest the multiverse has not paid off for them like they thought they would.
No, everybody's getting a little bit tired.
The idea of cleaning this up, but I think Marvel's got a lot riding on it. I mean, we're going into, let's see, Fantastic Four may be the first part that starts to redeem Marvel, though. I think that has a good feel to it. So it may win a lot of people back. Secret Wars, I'm afraid. Now, how is this coming out? Is it a series or a movie?
A movie. They're both movies.
Okay.
Doomsday and then Secret Wars are the next two Avengers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to throw out, let's do some quick association here. Like or dislike. Black Widow.
You talking about the movie?
Yeah.
I'm going to say dislike.
Agatha All Along.
I haven't finished it.
That's a
Didn't
dislike.
like it.
WandaVision.
Liked it.
Venom.
I like those. I enjoy those.
Hawkeye.
Again, we're doing quick association.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Hawkeye.
Like.
Eternals.
Dislike. And I will say Black Widow's probably right in the middle.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I haven't watched it again. That's telling.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
I liked those.
I
haven't rewatched those, but it just because it's so much.
But if we go back and if I say Agent Carter,
I liked that.
Captain America: Winter Soldier,
Liked it.
Guardians,
Liked it. Yeah.
Avengers,
Liked.
Age of Ultron,
Liked.
First Ant-Man,
I liked it. Yeah.
Civil War,
Loved that one.
Guardians 2.
Yeah. Actually, Winter Soldier is the one is my favorite, but I liked all this. Guardians 2, I liked.
Yeah. Spider-Man: Homecoming,
I liked it. Yeah.
Thor: Ragnarok.
I liked that.
I did too.
Yeah.
Black Panther,
Liked.
Infinity War,
Liked.
and then Captain Marvel was kind of okay. I enjoyed it, but
I would say probably if I'm going, one or the other, I'm going to say liked.
yeah.
But again, that was where you started to feel like the hit rate is a little off.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. And pretty much up to Endgame, and then Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah.
Then it started to tail off.
I love the Ant-Man movies, and then Quantumania I didn't like as much. It was too much going on. So I would probably say that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moon Knight. I never think about Moon Knight.
See, that tells something there too. I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the truth of the series. They're real good. I mean, they're well done. They're good. You enjoy them while they're happening, but they're not really memorable. At the end of the day, you go, God, what was that? What even happened in that?
It kind of of reminds me of an episode of The Next Generation that you really don't move the series along. You're kind of back to where you started.
I think that's a good way to put it.
And, Moon Knight.
I thought it had everything going for it. It should have been a bigger hit than it was, and it just wasn't.
Yeah. Wakanda Forever, I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah. Wakanda Forever, you almost feel obliged to like because of the send-off to Boseman. Yeah. But Chadwick Boseman. But if you just take the movie in of itself, it was the Namor stuff was just did not work. No. It did not work like it should have.
I forgot Namor was in there.
See, that's the thing.
Wow, the Submariner.
Yeah.
So you've got to bring Namor back somehow, some way.
I think so too, yeah.
You got to bring Moon Knight back somehow, some way.
But do you bring him back just to get rid of him? If it's Secret Wars, because that's what they did, right? I mean, that's the idea, is that you're cleaning up this thing, or are you just trying to? Do you think they'll get rid of folks? To me, that's what Marvel has to do at this point. They've got to have true sacrifice because they've established that there is no true sacrifice because of Endgame. Yeah, everybody that we thought was, with the exception of Black Widow, but even then, they do a movie with her where she comes back. It's a prequel. But, she comes back, so the character can come back. Now we're seeing, Robert Downey Jr. possibly, Chris Evans coming back.
I think Secret Wars is going to reset everything to basically you've got RDJ and Chris Evans. You've got everybody back.
Do you think so? Or do you think you're going to use it to establish the new Avengers team? Yeah. Maybe a little both.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little both.
Yeah, they're gonna look and say, who pushed us the most?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. So when is that coming out?
Doomsday is what, 26? Let me see if I can find
All right, so you've got Fantastic Four summer 2025, July 2025. Yeah. You've got Doomsday 2026.
Let me look.
That's the first part of this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Russo brothers too, right?
Yes.
So they're doing the twofer again like they did with the Avengers Infinity and Endgame.
I think they are. I think they're shooting them back to back. Yeah. So, Doomsday is supposed to be here May 1, 2026, and then Secret Wars May 7, 2026.
All right, and there's a Spider-Man movie in there somewhere, right?
So there's a Spider-Man 4 that's being talked about.
Okay, not in production or anything.
I don't think it's in production yet.
But that's the one that
Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
Yeah. That has not. I mean, Sadie Sink's been cast, but they're not in production.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tom Holland's got to be under contract.
Oh, yeah. He's got to be.
Yeah. And what about Andrew Garfield?
I know. Everybody still wants a third Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie.
Boy, he would be great.
Yeah.
He would be great. Maybe they could bring Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire back into Secret Wars. How great would that?
Why not? I mean, that's kind of what you're doing.
I mean, how great?
I mean, it wouldn't have to be big roles.
No. I mean, on screen for 20 seconds, kill him. Let him get a quip. Let him do the Spider-Man point, So.
And get the youth pastor look for Tobey Maguire. That was still my favorite line from the whole thing.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Not that I'm not digging the whole youth pastor vibe, but do you have a costume? Yeah.
That was great.
I need to watch that movie again.
And I mean, I want to see a live action Miles Morales too.
Yeah, I think that's coming. I think that's definitely coming.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Tom Holland's got to be kind of sick of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's at some point it's time to move on. But,
yeah.
But I do think that they've got to
tell that to Daniel Craig.
Yeah, that's right.
18 James Bonds later. So anyway. Yeah.
And didn't want to do any of them.
No.
According to him.
But he cashed the check, didn't he?
Cashed the check.
Yeah. Don't want it, but when he was the Ross Perot, if nominated, will not run. If elected, will not serve. If cast, will not read for the part or something. I don't know.
We need to do a speculation on Bond at some point, too, what's going to happen with that.
Oh, good grief. Talk about a little bit of a train wreck. I don't know that I trust MGM or Prime to make the right call. I mean, that's just kind of, that's just me.
All right.
So, all right. Well, that's a quick episode. Got to get to some March Madness. I got to find some pizza and some wings to celebrate, that the tournament is here.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay. All right. We will see you guys next time around.